Culture is an integrated pattern of human knowledge, belief, and behavior, and it depends on our capacity for symbolic thought and social learning. So learning to recognize symbols in societal contexts and being able to learn them together. It's also our evolved capacity to classify and represent experiences through these same symbols. And most importantly, it's our ability to think imaginatively and creatively. So culture, I'm sorry, the clicker's not giving in. Culture is creativity and collectivity. It's about embracing creative behaviors together, and it's about doing it in a way that's multiplicative. But the collectivity is also what shapes and transforms culture in return, so it's a living system. Culture, in the sense we want to talk about it today, it rarely just happens. It's organized. It usually requires an effort. It's backed by emotion, sense of belonging, and a desire to create. And a lot of marketing today is based on fads, and they're random, short-lived. They may be powerful in the moment, but they have no scale or lasting purpose. Culture was originally rooted in elitism, right? And so it's basically rooted in the fact that we tend to want what we can't get. Folklore is really what we pick up from the artifacts of culture. It's generally accessible to everyone. It's on the fringe, but it's not really the same thing.
The intersection between Apple and Nike to come at this product and develop it and then get a beautiful interface designed by an agency is a fantastic one, because the legacy in there is something very powerful. 5 years on, this would have sold more running apparel or more running gear than any advertising campaign. It's connected more people to create the biggest virtual and actual in-world running club on the planet. Annually, the Human Race 10K program that comes out of that gets 500,000 people on a single day running at once. That is the single largest running event on the planet. And yet, to maintain and keep developing and build this community is incredibly effective. Much more so than having to go and rent eyeballs continually to do broadcast advertising to them. And it's not to say that it's done without broadcast. That's not really the point. The point is that it's an ongoing conversation in a community that is building deep cultural capital for Nike in that space. Equally, I think, we see examples, perhaps not so recent, in terms of Dove's campaign for real beauty. And here's a brand that had a bunch of assets that had been there for quite a while in terms of its products, more than 50 years in the market certainly in terms of Dove soap, and then getting into more of the body lotions and shampoos and things. And it had an audience actually that, curiously enough, whilst using television, was very heavy into its consumption of glossy titles in the printed media. But also, they were discovering conversations online, blogs, forums, and the like. And so actually a campaign with the URL, campaignforrealbeauty.com, ignited this conversation online and really got the media attention that fueled it even further into a very big and powerful debate with a social purpose. To really ask what is beauty, and what is that stereotype doing of beauty for women out there? And I think the legacy of campaigns like this that is still resonating around today lasts long beyond the final spots that may run within a campaign like that.
While Lady Gaga was creating this digital Twitter frenzy, we at the label wanted to create a series of countdowns to promote the actual product. So first we established a Facebook countdown where Lady Gaga, from her website, encouraged people to go to Facebook and RSVP for the album Countdown. It was the largest RSVP'd event in Facebook history at 250,000 RSVPs, which, when you think about it, is really quite incredible, because people are RSVPing to an intangible event. They're RSVPing to a countdown. Again, the way she can move media, culture, trend topics, etc. And while people were signing up for the RSVP, we also enabled a link to pre-order the album. We also worked with iTunes to set up some countdowns, and what we did was we put the first single up there, and it became the fastest selling single in iTunes history, selling 1 million singles in 5 days. So while all this digital frenzy was ensuing, Gaga wanted to deliver real content that would tap into her cultural currency, which is her content. Again, rewarding, activating, engaging. And what she did was she came up with a series of vignettes, custom content shot by Gaga, directed by Gaga, edited by Gaga, called Gaga Vision. And what these Gaga Vision series did was they allowed fans to get a sneak peek into her music as it was forming for Born This Way. And here's a little taste of it.
Sometimes it all feels so revealing, but most of all, we feel there's nothing like